So one of the first things I wanted to do when I got to Thailand was my driving license. I wanted to be able to drive a car legally on the road. It's very straightforward. This is what I did and how I got mine. As I understand it, the insurance on your vehicle isn't valid unless you've got a full Thai driving license. So it's definitely worth getting one. So the first thing I did, like a lot of people, I watched videos on YouTube. There's many videos out there how to get a Thai driving license, um, and I decided, well, basically there's two ways of doing it. You can either use an agency, or you can try and do it yourself if you've got a Thai friend or someone who can speak Thai. Um, I had neither of those things, so I went for the agency. I looked at a lot of different sort of YouTubers that had used different agencies. I shot off a few emails to various places. And the ones I got back, well, the company I decided to go with was TikTok Services. She responded straight away to me, no problem at all. Uh, Answered all my questions, told me how much it was. I'll run through the prices at the end to tell you exactly what I paid for. Um, First thing I had to do was send her some paperwork while I was in the UK. So I sent her my UK license, my driving permit that I got at the post office, which is definitely worth getting. I told her when I was arriving in Thailand, we made an appointment. When I got to Pattaya, he messaged me. He said, "You still on for you doing the driving test tomorrow?" I said, "No problem." She come and arranged to pick me up 8:30 in the morning from the hotel. So she picked me up at 8:30 in the morning. We went to the test centre in Chonburi. Uh, when we get there, there was various paperwork she'd already prepared that she signed. That I had to sign. I think it was 4 copies of the passport, a residence certificate that she'd done, a medical certificate that she'd also done. Um, and her representative was there, and she gave me a number. I think I was number 17. And you basically sit down and you wait your turn. And then when your number's called, you go to the front, see the girl on the front desk, and all you're basically doing is make an appointment to come back for your test. But you have to present yourself in person on day one, and then they make an appointment for you to come back and you do your brake test and your colourblind test. So I was called up, I signed a bit of paper, I showed her my passport again, she come up to the counter with me, um, and that was it. We go and sit down again, and then she goes, "Right, that's it, off home." And she drove me back to the hotel, and I had to go back 2 days later. She made an appointment, I think 1 o'clock on Friday. I went back, um, and the same thing. You sit down, you have a number, and then you're called up to a room, and all the sort of Westerners, Farangs, sit in one area, and all the Thais will sit in another area. And it's you take it in turns. So a group of Thais, I think there's about 10 in our group. Group of Thais do theirs first. Then we were called in. There was about, say, 10 of us. You stand in a semicircle, and the first thing you have to do is your colourblind test. So it's basically a traffic lights. The man presses a button and it goes red, green, yellow, various combinations of those three colours, and you just call them out, and then everyone takes a turn at that. Then the brake test, you sit on this machine. It's basically a chair and 2 foot pedals, and then press the accelerator. When the light changes, you slam on the brakes, and you have to brake before the white line goes over the middle line. I think I did it on about 45% first go. A couple of people failed first go, but you do get another go. You know, I was watching the group before me, and there was one Thai girl. She must have had 5 or 6 goes to get it, but eventually she did. As soon as you do that, you go and sit outside in another waiting area. Uh, Again, you go up to the counter, you sign a piece of paper. She then pays for your license. I didn't know how much it was. And then you're off downstairs, sitting in the last area, and you wait there until you're called, and you go and have your photograph taken. Then you wait for your license to be processed. And then she comes out, she gave me the license, I gave her the money. Then she goes, "That's it, all finished." She took a picture of us and drove us back to the hotel. And it was literally as simple as that. And I would highly recommend her. She was brilliant. There was, all the paperwork was done. It's completely straightforward. It takes a bit of time, but you know, things do. And that's basically how you get a Thai driving license. And if you want a motorbike license, it's the same principle, exactly the same test. As long as you have a license in your own country, you can get the Thai license very straightforward. Obviously, if you don't have a license or motorbike license, then it's a bit more in-depth test. And there's plenty of people on YouTube going through how you do that. But that's not what I did. I've got a car license. I've got full car license. And I just wanted a Thai car license so I could buy a vehicle and drive it around in Thailand. So your first license is for 2 years, and then you can go back and renew it for a further 5 years in 2 years' time. So this one will just be 2 years. Obviously, if you don't have a motorbike license or a car license, then you have to take a more in-depth test. But that's not. I have a car one. I didn't want a motorbike. I intend to buy a car, so that's all I needed. And yeah, brilliant. So the price she quoted me was 3,500 for the car license, or 6,000 if I wanted to do the bike license as well. So it's basically 3,500 for the car, 2,500 for a bike. So I just went for the car, and it was 3,500, and that involved picking me up from the hotel, taking me to the test centre, sorting out everything at the test centre, bringing me back, picking me up 2 days later, again going to the test centre, paying all the tolls and coming back. So if you did it yourself, you'd probably have to have 4 taxi journeys, pay for the test, sort all the paperwork out. But I think it would be, unless you've got a Thai friend, probably quite tricky. So I think it's money really well spent, and I'd recommend her. No problems at all. And hope this helps someone out. Okay, thanks very much. Bye for now.